Hello everyone, and welcome to another live Watchalong on Football Tour podcast. My name is Ozzie, and I'm your host for this evening. And Liverpool versus Nottingham Forest. It's set to begin in the next couple of minutes, but before we indulge into the action, let's go through the lineups and see who's starting today. So let's start with the home team, of course, being Liverpool at Anfield. We've got Alisson in goal, so he makes his return after 5 to 6 weeks out of action. For me, no surprise. I did mention it in the match preview yesterday that I expect him to start whenever Allison returns from injury. Slot pretty much puts him in right into the starting lineup, so no surprise there. In terms of the back four, I'm a little bit disappointed to see Szoboszlai at right back. I'm hoping that's an error from Google's part, and it's in fact Jones at right back and Szoboszlai in midfield. But we'll see as the game goes on. But currently on paper, it looks like he'll be starting right back. Perkins left back, Konate and Van Dijk in that centre back roles. And then in terms of the midfield, you've got McAllister, Gravenberg, and Jones. And up top, you've got Salah on the right, Gakpo on the left. I'm surprised a start for Alexander Isak. I didn't know if he was available. I know he was part of the Sweden squad during the internationals, but I didn't know how fit he was because I don't believe he played in their second fixture. So I thought maybe he's not fully fit, but it looks like Slot has pretty much favored playing the big money striker ahead of the informed, the fully fit other striker in Ekitike. So bold decision. So let's see if it pays off. But Isak leads the line for Liverpool today. So in terms of my score predictions, I went with a 2-1 win for Liverpool. I thought we'll just get the narrow win. But yeah, feel free to drop a comment and let me know what you guys think. So the game has just kicked off. Uh, actually, I didn't even mention the opponent, did we? So let's quickly have a look at their team selection as well. So in terms of Forest, you've got Sales and goal, Williams on the left, Murillo, Milinkovic, and Silvano completing the back line. Anderson, Sangare in the double pivot. I thought Hudson-Odoi may have been starting in this one, but it looks like he won't be, and it's pretty much the same front sort of advanced midfielders in Dominguez, Kiss White, and Ndoye, and then you got Igor Jesus leading the line for Forest. Big look at the bench so we know what options are available for both teams. So for Liverpool, Gomez, Endo, Chiesa, Ekitike, Mamadashvili, Robertson, Trenioni, Ramsey, which is good. We've got an actual right back option off the bench. We've got Rion Gamoa as well. In terms of Forest, you've got Morato, Hudson-Odoi, Victor, Kulimando, Hutchinson, Yates, Cunha, McAtee, and Willy Bolly. So, yeah, interesting team selection there. As I'm seeing on the screen right now, it's Curtis Jones at right back. So that's what I predicted in the match preview, and that's what I thought was best for the team. And I think Onslaught agrees with the sentiment there. So Jones is at right back and not in the midfield, which is a positive for me. Let me quickly go through the comments as we watch the game. Ozan, big up Ozan as always. He says another moment of truth for Slottersy. Yeah, it is. Let's see, you know, how the team performed today, how the game ends. Do we get the result? Because for me, it is more about the result than the performance. If I'm being brutally honest with you, I was gonna say we'll see 90 seconds if Sabah at right back. If he's, I'm gonna lose it. FFS. Sabah is that right back man. This lot guys. So on paper, I think a lot of the media outlets assumed it was Sabah right back only because he's played there previously. Um, but he's not playing right back. Uh, it's Curtis Jones that is starting in that position so far. So I was gonna say, Ozzy, what you're watching, so was that right back? Currently, it was Jones on that right hand side, unless they've interchanged. But let me see, because right now Forest have a free kick, so it's not. open play as it stands. But when I was watching, Jones was on the right side and Szoboszlai was in the middle. So maybe that is a tactic where both players will interchange. So kind of presents a bit of unpredictability from our point of view and bit of a headache for the opponent. But let's see. At the minute, we've got to deal with a free kick right now. And it's Murillo with a long run up. He shoots. Blocked them on McAllister. Oh, he was that. That was Dominguez with the effort over the bar. Oh, it looks like they've swapped places. I kid you know, when I was watching it as I was reading the lineups, Jones was in that role. So yeah, it looks like Szoboszlai is in that position. I can't see them switching around during the game, if I'm being honest with you. Let's see. Let's see how the game goes on. But yeah, not if that is his predominant position during the game, not overly pleased by that. But yeah, I think it's a bit, injustice there. He's performed so well in midfield. I feel like he deserves to, you know, be a mainstay in that midfield. He doesn't need to be a player that becomes a makeshift player here and there. Mm. So, like as you can see right now, they're both swapped places. So, you know, I don't think we're gonna see a static player in that role, which sounds silly, but we have to be a little bit. If we like right now, Jones is there, but because yeah, it's a bit it's a bit all over the place. So let's just keep going. Um, I was gonna say Ozzie think Jones is number 8. Nah, no, there's only one number 8 in our team right now. Mm. Liverpool got a corner kick there. Let me bring the scoreboard up for you guys so we know what the score is. You go corner kick taken for Liverpool. Powered across. Decent delivery there. Kanate not getting on to the end of that, unfortunately. Decent cross, but I kind of just feel like he just whipped it in an area rather than try to pinpoint a pass at someone. But it wasn't to be. Goal kick for Forest. Excuse me. Subozlai with the throw in. Big game for Alexander Isak, honestly. McAllister, nice pass to Gakpo. Gakpo driving the ball. Ah, come on. Overplaying it there with his first touch. McAllister to Kirkez. Jones to Subozlai. Is that Kirkez? Yes, it is. Does really well to hold on to the ball. Tries to find Isak. Not good enough in terms of that delivery. Good strength there from Gravenberch. Gakpo. Oh, good turn of speed there for Gakpo. Someone start. Oh no, was that blocked by the keeper? Great save there from the Forest keeper. McAllister. Now I can already see an improvement in our play. I'm talking about the left-hand side in particular. Gakpo's opened his eyes. He's realised that Kirk has actually plays for Liverpool. He's passing the ball to him, and he's been a bit unpredictable in his runs there so far. So better from Gakpo and better from Kirkes in terms of playing as a duo on that left-hand side. McAllister having a couple of shots there. Maybe should have done better with the first one. Salah with the corner kick, not bad delivery there, headed away by Forest. Jones to Soboslai. Oh, risky challenge there from Curtis Jones. Bit wayward in terms of the way he tried to block that ball. If he had connected on the player, yeah, it could have been a decision from VAR. When you go flying in like that, always a bit of a risk when you're going in that manner. Got a comment here from Ozzie and saying, McAllister, how many chances do you need, man? I know. The second one, he was closer to goal. Feel like he should have done a lot better there. Oh, lovely back heel there from Jones. So it was like, come on, McAllister, show yourself. Nice pass from McAllister to Kirkes. Gakpo. Pass to, so it was like, oh, that's a terrible pass from Gakpo. Just toe punted it towards Szoboszlai. Honestly, I don't think I've ever seen a player toe punt a pass before. Let's have a look at the chance earlier on. Oh, it's a block. The commentator said Sells. I'm thinking, it didn't look like Sells blocked it. It was Elliot Henderson. Great block there from the midfielder. Player that I'm really intrigued by to see, how he performs today. A player we've been linked to recently as well. So it could be a future signing. Who knows? So why not get our scout cap on and see how he performs today. Oh, lovely ball from Szoboszlai. Salah, does it get the last touch of Nico Williams? It does. Smart play from Mohamed Salah there. Another corner kick for Liverpool. I don't mind Salah's delivery. I know last game a few fans were not pleased that he was a set piece taker. I feel like his deliveries are quite decent on that side of the pitch. So no, I'm not too mad at him taking corner kicks. Yeah, Poet Isak, need to use their height to their advantage in these moments, as well as Van Dijk and Konate. We've got some big guys. Oh, Salah's in the shot box. Ah, got a few comments here from Ozan, who's written, "What happened to the McAllister of last season who was scoring worldly goals? Yeah, he's a shell of himself, to be fair. And you get some players where they perform better at international duty in comparison to club football. It's neither. It's a McAllister issue this season. He's just not playing to his capability, and he needs to try and find that form very soon. Because we do need him with the amount of games we've got coming out in 7 in 22 days. It's a lot of games to go through, and we need everyone fit and ready. So he needs to step up. He needs to showcase the talent that he showed in his Brighton days, and the reason why we signed him in the first place. Because he's not been that guy, unfortunately, so far this season. A question there from Ozzy says, Ozzy, would you take Nico Williams back uh, in place of Gordon Ramsay? I'd take him in place of Gordon Ramsay for sure, if that's the specific player to replace. But In general, no. Um, I, I don't think he's improved. He has improved. No, to be fair, he has improved since he left Liverpool. But I don't see him at a Liverpool level. He would be good in place of Gordon Ramsay, i.e., on the bench. You know, a player who can play left back, which he's currently doing right now. He can play right back. Can even play at right wing if really needed. But I don't see him being a high caliber fullback. So for me, no, I feel like we've got to move on. You know, he was sold for a reason, and I feel like we have to try and find a different profile to add to the squad. So for me, not really, not the one for me. But if you're saying in place of Gordon Ramsay in particular, um, then yeah. But that I don't think that's a difficult question to answer because most players were good ahead of Gordon Ramsay. You know, Gordon Ramsay hasn't even played. Um, he hasn't played a Premier League appearance, has he? So I just realized I'm calling Gordon Ramsay. He's not even. That's not even his name. Yeah, it's Calvin Ramsay. So yeah. I just clocked that as well. And I was there thinking, Gordon Ramsay, is that the chef? But yeah, Calvin Ramsay, yes. You got me there, Ozan. Right now, Liverpool playing with three at the back. Jones a bit more towards the right hand side. Also was like inverted as a fullback. So we're showing a bit of variation in our sort of setup right now. So ball down the ball. Find Salah. Ozzie Jones. Excuse me. Good block there from Anderson on Sabozlai. I was like, saying, man's cooking up snacks in the dressing room. Yeah, chefing it up in the backroom staff, isn't it? Yeah, that might be a reason why the players aren't playing to their level. You know, too much food in the dressing room, less, less energy, more lethargic. Salah, lovely cross. Oh, Kirkes on his weaker foot over the bar. I'm so sure there was a deflection there, but I'm not sure if it's going to be given. Good play from Salah. Smart play. Took two players out of the game, and then the third, and then the fourth. I feel like Kirkis could have done better there. Feel like he kicked the ground as he shot. Yeah, he's holding onto his foot, so yeah, I feel like he kicked the ground. He's not fouled. Oh, is he? Oh, he could be fouled, but it was it was slightest of touches, so I think we'll be, clutching to assume that that's a penalty. Mhm. Also, in the comment says, "Oh man, why are left back so one-footed?" It's true, they really are one-footed. They should know how to shoot both feet at minimum. I think in that moment there, 1 second, we've got Salah on the move forward to Isak. That's better. That's the kind of passes we need to give to Isak. You know, you gotta give him something to run towards. He's not going to want to play it to feet all the time. He's going to want to be on the shoulder and run at the ball. That's what we got to do more often. So hopefully we can try and create those opportunities for Isak and provide him with the right service today. But back to your point, Osan. Um, I think in that angle there, obviously he had a couple of players around him, but for a player on his weaker foot to wrap it around is not the easiest of techniques. But I do agree, you know, look at Robertson. He can barely, shoot with his right foot. So it can be frustrating, especially when they cut in. You're expecting them to do something decent in those moments. But yeah, wasn't to be for Kirkers. in that opportunity there. Canate, Jones, Szoboszlai, Alistair, Canate, Jones, Salah, tries to find Isak, right foot cross. Oh, that was a great cross from Salah. Gakpo just wasn't, reading it there. Salah did a bit too much there. Should have just whipped in the cross. Elliot getting hounded by two players. He does really well to escape in that tight area. Great turn from Groundberg. Jones Gibbs White does well to hold off Kirkes. Sangare. Play like we were linked to, weren't we, a couple of years ago? Former PSV player, of course. Nah, the player's fallen to ground himself there. Kirkes, Gakpo gets onto a loose ball, tries to find Salah. Not enough pace in that through ball there, unfortunately. Player's been stopped for what reason? I'm not entirely sure. There's a player down. I believe it's Sangare. I'm not sure what happened there. Maybe I'm being a bit. Uh, he stepped on the back of his heel there, but it wasn't deliberate. He was trying to chase the player down and just accidentally stepped on the back of his heel there. I'm not even sure why VAR is reviewing this. This is a bit far-fetched, if I'm being honest with you. If we're booking things for incidents like that, well, yeah, the game's gone. Honestly, that wasn't a red card from Gallagher. Come on, they are really clutching it here, aren't they? Behave yourselves, honestly. You can't be giving bookings for things like that. He's taking forever to get off the pitch, isn't he? Why couldn't you walk on the other side and walk around? Why do you have to walk through the middle like that? Proper milking. Look how big the guy is as well, milking it like that. Shame on him. Do you know what's funny? I always thought Murillo was like a tall centre back. He's he's less than 6 foot, isn't he? From what I've read. Don't know why I thought he was a powering sort of centre back. I was in the comments saying the game's gone if that's a penalty. I agree with you, Ozan. Because they were reviewing the Gravenberch foul and the McAllister one, and it's just like, look, and I was just like, come on. He sacked to Gakpo. Anderson's everywhere, isn't he? Making all kinds of blocks. Corner kick. Oh, nicely taken. Not bad, not bad. Nice little training ground routine there. I don't know if they were trying to aim for Salah in that build-up play there, but ended up going towards Jones, and Jones just you know, wasn't set out right to shoot with his left foot there, even though he had plenty of time, to be honest with you. Good clearing from Granberg. Pass it to Salah. Salah unable to get past Murillo. Gakpo. Terrible from Gakpo. Shying away from that battle there. Murillo has a shot. Gakpo's got to be stronger and braver in that moment there. I was a constant great routine, but that should not have been Kurt who takes the shot. It should be Salah. I think they were aiming for Salah, but Salah was a bit too close to the penalty spot. He needed to be closer to the edge of the box, and then he would have been able to get his foot around a shot, possibly. Um, in the end, went to Jones, and Jones just wasn't set up for that shot, unfortunately. Jones on the ball, he's on side. Was like, Isak has the ball down to Groundberg. Gakpo to Groundberg. Isak trying to lay up to Gakpo, but on the wrong side, unfortunately. Van Dijk. Jones tries to find Salah there. Oh, come on. Liverpool have been better in the opening 27 minutes. More purpose in their play today. But just haven't found that Killer touch in front of goal so far. But we're brewing. It feels like, it's coming soon. Isak's on the left side right now. Passes to McAllister. McAllister. Lack of confidence passing him back there. Whereas, he could have placed the forward pass to one of the attackers. Soboslai. Salah. I guess Nico Williams. Nico Williams is not going to have an easy fixture today. Of course, with Nico Williams being a former Red, Salah will know how to play against the Welsh defender. Knate to Van Dijk. Van Dijk to Gakpo. He's on the byline. Oh, does really well. He needs to shoot. Unlucky there. Blocked by Milinkovic. Van Dijk. Thought he was going to go on to shoot himself. Gakpo, nutmeg for Isak. Isak to Szoboszlai. Szoboszlai left foot. Oh, deflected. I feel like that's going to roll inside the back of the net. Better from Liverpool. Got a couple comments there from Abdul Rahim. Big up Abdul Rahim. He says, hi, Ozzy in chat. Assalamu alaikum. Wa alaikum to you, Abdul. He says, how are you and how's your family? Well, good, thank you. I hope you and the family are doing well as well. Blessings and greetings. Gakpo jumping out, tackles, as Hannah said, told me to win every battle and fight for every ball. I agree. I wasn't impressed with that. Yes, the defender was, going at full charge, but you got to use your body. You got to, shoulder check him as well. Make sure you are ahead of the ball there. Yeah, I wasn't pleased with that moment there either. Just kind of you know, we'll start a little bit. What if that led to a goal? We'll be talking about it even further. But yeah, I agree. Needs to show more bravery in those kind of moments. Kirkes, lovely cross from Kirkes. Salah, headed by Murillo. Ego Jesus going past the ball line. Kanate, look, it's given away for a corner kick, but I don't mind it. Forest were applying a lot of pressure there, so get it out of play. It's not a big issue for me. But Liverpool bit all over the place. They're just not able to get any control or any sort of leverage on the attackers there. Oh, for God's sake. Forest have taken the lead through Murillo. Oh, Achilles heel once again, conceding a goal in a set piece. So frustrating. And it's very disappointing because I'll be honest with you, Forest haven't really been in the game. They haven't really posed a threat whatsoever. But this is football. In set pieces, it gives you an opportunity to attack the opponent. And look, they took advantage. Poor header from Van Dijk. Oh, he might be offside. Gibbs White. or enjoy obstructing Allison. We got Robertson's. Uh, Remember Robertson made that block the other day against Man City. So I'm hoping, that we get our decision because that for me shows inconsistency. Let's see what happens there. It's a goal, ridiculous. So when Robertson does it against Man City from a Van Dijk header, we're not given the goal, but we've had the same kind of moment against us. And look at that, the opponent gets the goal, and the player's definitely blocking Alisson's view there, whereas Donnarumma was at full stretch in that moment. Ridiculous. And the camera's on Robertson right now, rightly so. Oh God, Igor Jesus, what's going on? Oh my God, what is going on? Oh, he does handball it. Oh wait, hold on. Just hit the arm there. This is given, honestly. I can't. Let me have a look. It kind of hit him like in between the shoulder and the bicep. I'll be honest with you guys. I think it might be given. I think it might be given because they'll give the advantage to the attacker in this moment. In my opinion, I think it's going to be 2-0. I feel like it's his shoulder there. Does he have a look at the screen? What's going on? Oh, it's no go. I was I was thinking the worst there. I thought that could have been a goal. Gonna go through some of the comment there. Ogan saying FFS indeed. Abdul saying we love conceding goals for fun on the first. We'll sit back now with Sean Dyche, these refs and VR since they don't have a clue about football. Totally agree with you. Either they don't have a clue or there's an agenda against Liverpool. And I don't want to sound like the victim, but it does feel like it because it happens to us far too often. Let's not be around the bush. So yeah, very, very frustrating. And look, it's not just about us, not getting decisions, from the referee. The goal that we conceded against Man City, where not conceded, the goal that we scored against Man City, with, with Van Dijk scoring a header and Robertson, making a block. That was viewed as him blocking his path or blocking the eyesight of the goalkeeper. It's the same thing that's happened here. But the difference is we never got a goal, and then the opponent got a goal today. There's no consistency in what we do. So that's all we want from referees: consistency. it can't be different rules for different teams. That's what it feels like right now. So yeah, really, really frustrating. But I'm not gonna lie, the second one, I thought it hit his shoulder. So if it hit his shoulder, technically that's a goal. So maybe it wasn't clear, and that's why we got the favourable decision there. But it could have gone either way. And when things don't go your way, you have to naturally feel the worst, isn't it? But luckily we didn't. The goal wasn't given because that would have been a dreadful end to the first half. I wasn't saying they felt sorry for us because that wasn't handball. Yeah, probably. It bounces out the offside goal. Liverpool can't defend to save their lives. We don't have no backup for Konate and Gomez. Yeah, you're right. We don't have no backup. Do Konate and Gomez. But Liverpool can get the equaliser from this free kick. Salah takes it. Salah to Jones. Uh, uh, uh. Ah. Nico Williams falling to ground. Knew exactly what he's doing there. I don't think Allison had a clear view in that moment there. He can too. No, to be fair, Allison can see it, but the law, if a player is blocking the path or the viewpoint for the goalkeeper, should be a goal. Gives White almost unlocking the door for Igor Jesus. Suppose that as well to leave for Allison to claim. Just losing a grip of the game, I feel like right now. Isak, nice pass to Gakpo. Great touch from Gakpo. Ah, foul there. Come on, ref. Guy with the smirk there. Well, at least my guy got up. He was down for like 5 minutes, pretending he got hurt. Big man at Sangare doing it on the floor. No, no, no shame whatsoever. So was like set to take the free kick from that left hand side. So was like free kick taken. McAllister looping header there towards goal. No real pace there, was there? Good height for the keeper. Let's have a look at this angle. Oh no. It wasn't even McAllister. Who was it? Oh no, it was McAllister. Yeah. Headed it from the top of his head rather than the forehead. That's where you get the power. That's why it ended up being a looping header and an easy save for the Belgian goalkeeper. Valberg needs to be alert. He goes Jesus. Came from such a advanced role and still got the ball ahead of the deep lying playmaker there. Kanate, what kind of clearance is that? Dominguez getting past Kanate. Canate is just all over the place. Supposed like saving him in that moment, honestly. Williams with the cross. Just gonna go through some of the comments here. Abdul saying left back, centre back, right back positions are questionable this season. Um, into the performances, yeah, I agree, but I feel like it's not just those three positions. I think we're questionable in all of the positions this season. None of the players are playing to their capabilities. So for me, it's everyone. It's not just the three positions that you mentioned. We have no proper defensive midfielder. Grandback is playing that position as cover. I wouldn't say playing that position as cover. He's Salah with the outside of his boot there with a shot. Decent effort from the Egyptian king. I feel like Graham Burke's, really transformed that role and has made it his own. But at the same time, when you've got a player like McAllister alongside him who doesn't really offer much sort of protection for the back line, you know, we get exploited quite often. So that's why, people might look at Graham Burke saying, oh, he's not a defensive midfielder, or he's not doing his job. I think he is personally. I don't mind him in that number six role. I think he's really good in that role. But if he was playing alongside like a Shuameni or a Believo, that type of profile, would he excel? Of course he would. And I feel like that's the type of player Liverpool need to look at in the summer. Or the dream would be January, but I doubt it. That's the profile we need. We need someone with more of a defensive instinct, who's an enforcer, who can, do the dirty work in that midfield and offer a different presence. Hold on. Gakpo trying the low cross there, but I think he got the last touch, so that's a goal kick to Nottingham Forest. After saying, what is Curtis Jones's role? He's making pretty passive, but they are nothing effective at all. I think Jones has done all right today. He's been in good positions here and there. I don't really see him as a weak point. Um, before that goal, I don't think we're performing that bad. I'm not saying we're great, by far of that sort of imagination, but you know, since that goal, I feel like defenses look more shaky. In particular, Konate just gives me those, nervous sort of vibes, and unfortunately, it's spreading around the defensive players around him. Um, Jones is working hard in my opinion. I don't think he's a weak link today. Transport for Austin has not been good. No, he's been woeful this season. And with all this contract talk, apparently we're ready to offer him a new contract to make him one of the highest earners in the squad. That doesn't warm me with a good feeling because for me, he doesn't deserve it. Last few years, yes, he has. Isak on the ball. Jones, free kick to Liverpool. 5 minutes of stoppage time. So no, as it stands, I don't think Konate deserves a new contract. Um, yeah, I really don't. Conceded, scored 18 and conceded 18. Yeah, that's woeful, 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 woeful from Liverpool. Zero service again for Isak. Yep, I agree with you, Ozan. We just placed the ball now where, we've done two passes where we've played it to him, and that's how we need to play going forward. But we don't do it enough. He wants the ball in front of him. He doesn't always want it to feet. He's not that type of striker. He's not probably Firmino. He's not a false nine. He wants to play and run with the ball, whether that's centrally or whether that's on the channel. No, he wants to run. So we've got to play to his strengths. That's what we need to do going forward. They're not finding linking up with him. I agree. We're 10th in the leagues. Not even looking at the league table. We're not looking at the league table. Gonna focus on the game right now. We can look at the league table afterwards, but right now, yeah, I don't want to look at the league table, to be honest with you. Canate, what the hell is that? Another woeful pass from the French defender. Oh, I really hope we sign a centre back in January. The thing is, because he's playing with no real competition, and I don't mean to be disrespectful to Joe Gomez, but Joe Gomez is viewed as a squad player, to cover certain positions or fill in the gaps when required. He's not viewed as a player that can come in straight away. Not because of his quality. I think he's a quality player. It's just fitness issues. His injury record is, you know, it's quite concerning because over the years he's been quite fragile. Whenever he's made a few appearances, he's picked up little injuries here and there. That has led to long-term injuries as well. So because of that, he can't be fully trusted or he can't be utilized as much because he's the only other centre back we have in the squad. So when you've got a player like Konate who's giving you stinkers every game, he knows he's gonna start the next game. So he doesn't really have that kind of like, what, I need to fix up because I got this guy and that guy, fighting for my place. He knows Joe Gomez isn't gonna start ahead of him. So he's just going to be like, all right, fine, I'll do better next time. I don't want that as an attitude from my players. You got to fight to play in this team. Only certain players are on the team sheet straight away, and for me, Konate is not one of those players at all. So huge concern. But that is halftime. Liverpool nil, Nottingham Forest 1. Forest getting the goal through a set piece via a left-footed finish from Murillo. Big debate on that goal because there was a player in Undoi that was blocking the path of Allison. So another talking point is, of course, we got a goal choked off a couple of weeks ago for the same type of play there. But, Forest got the lead, almost made it 2-0. And I'll be honest with you, I think maybe it should have been 2-0. I feel like that moment where Igor Jesus stopped the ball, it was with the shoulder. Uh, so yeah, we got lucky there. But we'll take a short break. Once we return, um, we'll go through. Abdul saying it's Maghrib time, so yeah, time to pray and whatnot. Um, and when I return, we will speak tactics, potential substitutions that we can make in the second half. I don't expect Stock to do it right away, but we can still, discuss it together and see what options are available and what we can do to improve the performance and hopefully get a result as well. Um, but yeah, we didn't start off too badly, but as soon as we can see that goal, it went all pear shape. It really did. And then all that composure that we had in the back line just disappeared. And Konate is the example there because he's looked all over the place since we could see that goal. So yeah, disappointing start, but we still have a second half. So let's see how we do. Just got a comment here from Ball, big up Ball as always. He said this is effing shit. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. But yeah, we'll hope for better in the second half. So we'll take a short break, and then once we return, we'll go through the bench, see who is available, so you can come on and make a difference. We will talk tactics very, very shortly. So I'll see you guys very, very soon. Hi guys, welcome back to the second half of Liverpool versus Nottingham Forest. Just trying to see if there's doesn't look like we've made any changes. Oh my god! Oh my god! What's just happened? What has just happened? We are all over the place. What on earth is going on? McAllister easily beaten there. Salah not really showing any effort to get a ball. Gakpo letting the player go past him. It was the fullback, wasn't it? Savano. God's sake, man. Honestly. Tempted to just log off, just go back downstairs and log off now. Absolutely shocking, honestly. Hold on, saying game over. Yeah, I hear you. How could we concede the first minute of the second half? Ridiculous, honestly. I'm lost for words, honestly. I just don't know what happened. I was running late, came running back to the room, mm, just tuned in, or shall I say, logged in. And the first thing I see is us getting moved to in our own half, and we can see the goal. This team, honestly. Perkins with the cross. I was come back saying this might be it for Slottersy. It could be. It could be, to be fair. So definitely needs to change tactics. It goes without saying, but will he do it? I don't know. Callister, take a shot, guys. What's going on? Lost for words, honestly. Let's have a look at the bench. See what Slot can do in the second half. With Joe Gomez, Mdog Chiesa, Ekitike, Mamadashvili, Robertson, Trenioni, Karen Ramsey, and Gamoa. Feel like firstly, we need to put Sabozlai back in midfield. That's number one. So I'm contemplating between the two players. Ramsey or Joe Gomez to come out right back. That's what I'm contemplating right now. The obvious answer would be to some Ramsey because obviously he'd been a natural right back, but I would rather go for experience and go for Joe Gomez or Joe Gomez at right back for the last 30, 40 minutes. And I see Ekitike being warmed up. That's another player that can come in. Will he replace Isak like for like? Yeah, it'll have to be done because he hasn't done much, unfortunately. It's all good and well trying to give someone an opportunity, but hasn't done much for me in this game. So yeah, Ekitike for Isak. I like to see Chiesa come on for Gakpo. Look at that. Why can they do free balls and we can't do free balls? We literally can't do the basics as a team. It's so concerning. Ekitike is the first one to come on. So interesting to see if he's replacing Isak or Gakpo because for France he's playing on the left hand side, so that could be a viable option there. I'd be on Endo for McAllister as well. Endo's, I just need a bit more stability in that midfield, bit more steel, bit more protection for that back line because McAllister's not offering it. He's not offering anything from a technical point of view either. So I'd substitute him as well. So so Gomez, come on, Endo, Chiesa, and Ekitike. That's the four that I think can come on, and maybe Robertson if we feel like Kirkes isn't performing better. Um, so yeah, those are the four that I look towards. So let's see what starting up doing. But as it stands, it looks like it will be Ekitike that comes on first. Oh, this is terrible. And then Kirkes getting pushed to ground like he's made of paper. Szoboszlai. I can't believe Szoboszlai has played right back today. What is wrong with Slot? No foul there for ground back. In the Looks like he was pushed there. Gakpo. Salah. Oh, nutmeg from Jesus on Canate. I'm not gonna lie, that's a foul. Ref was too nice there. Because he got moved to, he got nutmeg there. Light it off for Ekitike. So that would mean to me Gravenberch dropping to our defense in a back four. Jones and McAllister. So I think we're playing a 4-4-2 now. Ekitike and Isak up top. Sal on the right, Gap on the left, McAllister Jones in the midfield, and then you've got Gravenberch playing at centre back. I think that's the shape that we're going to go for. Yeah, that's what it looks like it is at the minute. I was there in the comments saying, "Yeah, Konate ain't getting a new big fat contract, is he?" I bloody hope not. Because I've been reading rumors recently that we're offering him a big contract and all that sort of stuff. I don't think he deserves it. And look, if that delays our decision and he doesn't feel wanted and wants to leave, then so be it. Because he's not been a great defender this season, and it's a shame because I really rate him. I think he's performed so well for us over the years. Like he's been a shadow of him, so he's been woeful for us this season. So no, he does not deserve a new contract. I really hope the club pulls the plug on that one because it's not deserved. And if that means we leave, we lose him on a free, it is what it is. Unfortunately, Salah to Szoboszlai, Ekatike, great turn of pace from Ekatike. Nice cross for Isak, blocked by Milinkovic. Ekatike already looks like he's a level above everyone in terms of energy and application. Salah, oh McAllister to Szoboszlai. The cross there blocked by Anderson. Corner kick for Liverpool. Cleared away by Forest. Jones with a powerful pass there to say the least. But Szoboszlai as well as keeping play. McAllister take a crack. What kind of pass was that? And Doy go good with the sliding tackle there. Salah, take a shot, Salah. Unlucky. The opening was there for him to take that shot. He does really well to skip past the player. Oh, Ekitike. What was that? Terrible pass there from Ekitike. Omari Hutchinson coming on for Forest, replacing Dominguez, who's actually done really well for Forest today. Hard worker on that left hand side. Looks like TK is shifting more towards the left-hand side, or he's just trying to find some space to get involved in the game. Why is Kirk is so central right now? I don't understand these tactics. Lost it. It's all over the place. Jones has lost the ball now. Well, he gets nutmegged. Finals Amari Hutchinson. Oh, TK. Man on McAllister. Where's Kirkes? Lovely flick from Sobotlai. Salah shoots! Oh, good try there from the Egyptian King. Lovely touch there from Sobotlai. Yeah, maybe Salah should have shot the first time. There. Salah from goal. No, the defender was just superior in that moment there. Enjoy. Bloody hell. Oh. Salah, lovely free ball to Isak. Just got a comment here from Deleuze Steve. Big up Deleuze Steve. Said it's time, Oz. Time to say the two words. Yeah, I think I'm there now. Yeah, I think I'm slot out. There's no coming back from this. The way we're playing, it, it's I can't explain how bad we're playing. It just doesn't make sense to me at all. Team selection just wasn't right. So was that playing right back was just an absolute diabolical decision to do that. Really was. But yeah, I think I'm there. I think I'm there now. I've lost faith. I really have. I just can't see how he turns it around. He's shown no sort of innovation in terms of trying new tactics. Or I know we're playing 4-4-2 now. It's different to what we normally play. But he's desperate. He only changes tactics when we're losing, and it's normally 1 or 2 nil down. That's not good enough. We shouldn't be reacting like that. When we're starting games, we should have a shape that would definitely give us an advantage against the opponent. That's how Rafa Benitez used to set up his team. He used to play to the opposition, especially when you're in poor form. That's how you got to work. Oh, tough watch. It's a tough watch today. But now I got to do some homework in terms of finding a person that I believe can take Liverpool forward. That's the only reason why I've not been so vocal about Salah. Because I've been very frustrated with him. I have been. But I just don't know who would come in and replace him right now. Some will say young Klopp, bring him back. I don't think that's the right route to go with. He's retired. He's not a manager anymore. So let him, let him be. Let him, do his part-time jobs here and there. Let him do his thing. Because when I look at that squad, we have a talented squad. We really do. But why is this group of players can't gel? Why have they not played well together? And the worst thing is, I'm not seeing any improvement. Slight improvements here and there, but come on, slight is not good enough, right? And it's in moments in games we're seeing slight improvement, but in general terms, it's not an improvement overall. 2-0 down against Forest at home. No. I genuinely believe he's only still at the job because he won the league last year. That's the only reason why he's still there. And I know that's not the Liverpool way. We don't sack managers here and there, but we've got to change direction. We've got to get someone in to try and rejuvenate the squad because we're flat. We really are. It's a concern, huge concern. Chiesa and Robertson are coming on. Isak's being taken off. I feel for Isak. I really do. Just haven't played to his game at all. Who's the second player that's come off? Kirkes. When they're going to lose Steve. He says, in my opinion, the players have lost belief as well. I agree. I feel like that was evident a few weeks ago. And I said that I felt like he lost the dressing room quite a while back, to be fair. Yeah, we're in dark times right now. Callister with the cross. No. Stewart. We got Stewart. It said I said it that Liverpool finished outside top four at the beginning of the season, but some Liverpool fans thought I was crazy. Listen, if that's what you believe, that's what you believe. I don't understand where you got that from, personally. Like with the summer that we had, you'd assume that we would finish below expectation or below where we finished last year, or you didn't think we'd be in the Champions League spot. I don't know like where that thinking came from. Um, you know, I don't really know how to respond to that comment because it sounds very negative for me, and I'm trying to stay positive here. And I feel like you've only come on the show with negative comments, so yeah. So I don't know why you think that. Like you feel free to like let me know in the chat because I've kind of lost interest in the game now. So feel free to let me know why did you think we wouldn't finish in the top four based on the summer that we had? Because I know for a fact everyone said Liverpool winning the league again back to back. So yeah, let me know what you think. You said the team looked thin and imbalanced from the beginning. Thin in what department? Because I feel like we had the numbers. The only department maybe would have been defense, but technically speaking, we had four centre backs at the start of the season. Of course, when a player like Leone picks up an injury, that is unfortunate. That is not something that is expected, and it's not something that um, you envision in the team. You know, he's a young player that came in, and in his first appearance, he gets injured straight away, and he's out for like another year. Like that's not common. That's not normal. It's just very unfortunate, very unlucky for the individual. So in terms of players on paper, I feel like we had the numbers. Um, I said it, and I'm sure you probably watched my shows during the summer. I was very adamant that we need to replace Luis Diaz. For me, Rio and Gamal wasn't the one to replace him on paper because he's very young, he's untested. We needed quality to come in and make a change right now, but that wasn't the case. So that's the area I feel like maybe we don't have the numbers, but I feel like with the quality of Isak, TK, we should be able to get through the team right now. And with Chiesa being able to play on the left and on the right as well, on paper we've got the numbers. So for you to say thin and imbalance, I don't quite understand what you mean. Thin in terms of numbers, I don't agree with. Imbalance, honestly, I didn't see that coming. If that's how you used to, right? Maybe you're ahead of everyone else because no one else saw it that way. This is a Premier League winning team. Let's not forget that. So McAllister, Szoboszlai, and Gravenberch as our trio, it really worked. Of course, we brought in Florian Wirtz. That was to, allow the team to excel, having a dominant number 10 in the team. It hasn't quite worked out yet, but I don't think the tactics from Stock's point of view have favoured the player. And I don't think it's favoured any of our new signings. Because let's look at our new signings. The fullbacks, Frimpong Kerkez, for me, they look more like wing backs than fullbacks. So, when you've got those type of profiles in your team, I'm expecting you to play a DM. Like, I'm expecting you to sign a DM, a real number 6, like a Fabinho that we had over the years. So, yeah. But, you're saying all of these comments, but I don't remember you saying this in the summer when you came on the show. So, you said we looked thin in midfield and defensive forward line wasn't giving after all the departures. I saw what everyone didn't see back then. Maybe I'm a prophet after all. Yeah, I think you're just milking it now. I think you're just milking it now. Um, I don't know. I didn't see it. I know a lot of people didn't see it that way. Um, I don't think this is a players issue. Honestly, I think this is a coaching issue. I really do. The tactics have been different this year. You can't say we play the same tactics this year because we haven't. So for me, it's a tactical issue. So Perkins is a downgrade. Maybe I complained about Florian, didn't you remember? You did complain about Florian, but you didn't complain about the signing of Florian Wirtz. You just said that he wasn't good enough to be in this team. We did comparisons of other number 10s, and you thought they were better than them, even though I showed you that the previous season, Wirtz had a better number than all of them. So honestly, I do question you as a Liverpool fan because you're very negative. And I don't mean to be rude to you, pinpoint you like that. But you only come on my show and comment when it's negativity. Like when Liverpool going through the mud or there's any negative, you don't come on the show with any positivity. So, you know, of course we're losing, so I'm not happy right now. But for you to be like having that kind of smug attitude, like I told you so, yeah, you can go off somewhere else with that because I don't really like that. Like you said, "Oh, I told you so." You didn't tell me anything. You're not a content creator, so I can't show you receipts about your comments or you going like I'm here every week. I do daily content with you guys. So when I say stuff, it's going to be remembered. It's recorded, so you can go onto my channel and backtrack. I don't have a clue about most of the things that you've said. The Florian Wirtz one, yes, I remember it, but that's because you weren't impressed with his performances in a Liverpool shirt. And you, from what you were saying, you don't seem like you even watched Florian Wirtz before he came. So that's my point of view there. But you only come on the show when there's a negative situation. If that is if that's your thing, so be it. But um, yeah, I'm not really on that. To be fair, there's no positive this year, but last season there was a lot of positives. Yeah, but you weren't commenting last season either, were you? So you know, you were negative when we were spending money and buying good players. You can't tell me any of the players that we bought were not good players. Like, tell me I'm wrong. Do you think all of the signings were bad? So you thought Isak was bad signing? You thought Ekitike was a bad signing? Because no, these were good signings. We just haven't fit them in the team, or we haven't played to their strengths. That's the difference there. And also, I feel like we've done too much too soon in one summer. Too many wholesale changes. And it's not common for a team, especially that's won the league, to do that so quickly like that. So look, we're a bit all over the place. Uh, he said, I always come to the show just that this season I've been busy because I applied for. That's all good. I don't need to know your life story, but my thing is, you only come when there's negativity. That's the only time I notice you. Even in the summer, when we were talking about certain games, it was negativity. So I'm not trying to take a dig at you, so don't think that I'm being personal here. But whenever we've had a conversation on the show, it seems to be more of an argument rather than a discussion where you feel like you have the upper hand because apparently you told us this, you told us that. But I don't remember you telling us anything, to be honest with you. And I remember a lot of the people that come on the chat. I remember a lot of your comments, but they're not in reference to what you're saying. So it's all good to say, "Oh, I told you," when I never really spoke to you about anything, if that makes sense. So yeah, so you can, say what you will, but I'm not gonna be like I agree with you because I don't agree with you, quite frankly. I still I don't agree with you about the Florian Wirtz, saying he's not a world class player. He is, and I will stand by that. Has he done it this season? No, he hasn't. But when he plays for Germany, you know, he shows it. And you speak to any ex-professional or any coach, they'll tell you what a generational talent he is. So I'd rather listen to them than just a random person on my live chat. Oh bloody hell. Hold on. Oh my god, it's free now. Yeah, slot's done. Slot's done. I'm just gonna go through some of the comments I missed. Apologies, Dilly Steve. Dilly Steve says anybody but Glasnost. Anyone but him. He sabotaged the gay deal, and yeah. I hear you on that one. I do hear you on that one. Because that is the popular name that I'm hearing, Glasner. That he's the one that should come in. I don't know. I don't know. I'm gonna have to do some homework now because on top of my head, I don't feel like there's an adequate person to come and take over at Liverpool. Let me know if there's any names in the chat, but Glasner wouldn't be one of them for me. But the gay one, yeah, that's the point. But I don't know. I'm not convinced by Glasner. If I'm being honest with you, this is woeful. This is absolutely woeful. What approach? So yeah, that's Irola. I don't know if he's ready for the step up to Liverpool. That would be my reservation because when you watch Bournemouth, they play good football, great tempo, but they're not a high possession team. That's what I expect a team like Liverpool to be. We're the one that controls the game. We're the one that builds up the possession. I don't see that, but you can always take it a different way where maybe Irola doesn't have the profile plays, but he has the style, he has the philosophy where it could be implemented if he was at a big club like Liverpool. So he's definitely a name. I wouldn't rule him out. He's definitely a name, but for me, there isn't a sort of an outstanding name that comes to mind. I'm like, you know what? This guy's number one target. Correct me if I'm wrong. When Brendan Rodgers was going through his bad spell, I think Jurgen Klopp would have been everyone's number one choice. I know Ancelotti was another name linked at the time, but 9 out of 10, I think everyone would say Jurgen Klopp, right? That would have been the guy we all wanted to become local manager to replace Brendan Rodgers. I don't have a person in mind like that. So we'll have to do some work. I don't plan on doing the match reaction show today, not because we're losing. I actually want to watch the boxing. So there's a lot of boxing coming on tonight. So um, if the boxing wants to finish a bit earlier, then I might just jump on and do live stream. So as you all know, if you subscribe to the channel, please also hit that notification bell. So if I decide to do an impromptu show, because let's be honest, I'm probably going to be rattled for the rest of the day, and I might just want to get things off my chest at like midnight, 1 a.m. in UK time. That is how it's going to be. So, or I might just sleep on it and then talk a bit more in detail tomorrow. But nonetheless, we will do a match action show. Just not sure if it'll be tonight. And look, we could talk about the game, not in huge detail, if I'm being brutally honest, but we're gonna have to talk about slot. Did you see asked me to say the two words? I've said it. Slot out now. Chiesa just had a shot. Too much power there in the end. Oh, honestly, this is so bad to watch. So tough to watch. Nice pass there towards to Ngamoa. And why do you always put Ngamoa when we're chasing game? Like he's a young player. You should play him when we're winning. Give him that confidence to just enjoy himself, play freedom. He's always put in a situation where he needs to change the game. He's a 17-year-old kid. You can't put pressure on him like that. It's the only time he plays. That's poor man management from this manager as well. Honestly, maybe I've been naive by just thinking, you know what, I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. Give him, he's got credit in the bank because he won the league title last year. But now I'm sorry, I can't back this coach anymore. And if you're slot in, I'm not going to, hold anything against you. That's not my personality. But you have to question why you still slot in. Weigh the pros and cons. But I've been telling you guys for a couple of weeks, I'm knocking on that door. I'm literally, if we're doing it based on a meter, my meter is towards slot out. I think I've hit the meter now. I'm on red. I'm slot out now. Because I can't defend this. How can I defend a 3-0 defeat by Forest at Anfield? And I'll be brutally honest with you, I don't even think they played that spectacular. It's just that we've been absolutely terrible today. That's why we're losing. I'm trying to keep it PG, so you know, don't like to swear on my show because I've got family and stuff that watch the show. But I can't have this. No, we got to come up with a checklist, guys. 'Cause I need to know mentally who is out there that can come in and do a job. 'Cause Lazar's not the one that convinces me. I know that's a popular name. Got a comment here from. I was gonna say I need mental health therapy. Yeah, yeah. Do you know what? That's what I'm saying. Like I wasn't planning on doing a match reaction show today because I wanted to watch the boxing. But I know this is gonna play on my mind today. So if the boxing finished early, I might jump on the live stream, but I don't want to promise. But what I will say is that if I don't do a show tonight, I will do it tomorrow, and then we can use that as a therapy lesson. Cause bloody hell! And I'll give you guys a heads up when I do my match reaction show. Don't be annoyed that I don't read that comment straight away. I need to get things off my chest as well. So it's gonna be a monologue when the show starts. So just bear with me, and then we'll get into a collective discussion because a lot needs to be said, and it won't be a lot about the game. It will be about the bigger picture. What is going on with Liverpool right now, and what do Liverpool need to do go- going forward? Because I think it's beyond tactics now. Look at Chiesa. Look how rattled he is right now. He's been mistreated by this coach. And I don't know what it was, but hold on a second. Allison just gave the ball away. But when I watched the press conference on Friday with Arne Slot, I don't know, even just the sly comments he made here and there about Saboz's lie, and then I don't know this. I'm not seeing any like emotion in the man, like because you know if this was Jurgen Klopp, he will be rattled. And he'll be like, "Look, I'm gonna, you'll hear something from his way. He's like, look, I'm trying. I'm gonna try and change." He's doing the same old every press conference monotone, like he don't care, like he knows his job is secure. I'm sorry, your job can't be secure anymore. You are under fire. You are on the hot seat now. You've got to deliver. This was the game where, look, I wasn't expecting us to produce a world class performance, but I was expecting a win. And we haven't even challenged this goalkeeper at all today. Players have been a shadow of themselves. And I did my match preview yesterday where we spoke about the Mark Gay rumor. Like, is he going to come to Liverpool? I just don't feel like he will join. And I'm thinking when I say these things out loud, I'm trying to think from a very neutral point. I don't want to be biased when I do my content. So I'm thinking, would Mark Gay want to come to Liverpool right now? No. Why should someone come to Liverpool right now? This is a sinking ship. He can't come in and rescue us like that. He's a good defender, but he ain't. He ain't another Van Dijk. He ain't a Colossal. He ain't a defender with that kind of aura. Like he ain't gonna change it like that. He ain't that kind of level. So that's my concern. Barca Bosley, no one has performed to their level. Ekitike, I'd probably put him in that category, and Groundwork as well to an extent. Chiesa for me hasn't given the opportunity, but when he does, he works hard for the team. You need application from your players. Hugs and high fives for Anderson, who's been fantastic today. He's worked hard for his team. I can't say that for McAllister. I don't think he's worked hard for the team today. This is too many defeats, guys. Too many defeats. We are 11th in the table, guys. 6 wins, 6 defeats. Look, they're going to score another one. They're going to score another one. What is going on? Like I feel like I should be like spazzing out, getting mad right now. I'm numb to it because it's not the first time we've lost this. We've lost so many times that I was nervous going into this game. I predicted a 2-1, yes, because I thought we might just nick it, narrow win. I wasn't envisioning us losing 3-0. I really wasn't. And to say out loud that we can't deal with low blocks, we can't deal with long balls, then you are not equipped to be a coach in the Premier League. It's as simple as that. That's bread and butter for English football. And not even just English football. That is what you expect when you manage an elite team. You are expected to play against teams that are going to defend for their lives. That's a sign of respect because you are a stronger team and you gotta have the talent and ability to break those tough tough walls in terms of different departments of the opponent. We don't have that. We don't have that capacity. We don't even know how to like we don't even have a way of playing. Like it's just I said it quite a lot yesterday. We are disjointed as a team. That is the word, disjointed. There is no connection. You know when you got when people play FC 26 and you do Ultimate Team. I don't play a lot, but obviously I know about it. So in terms of Ultimate Team, you buy players and you build chemistry based on certain criteria, like you're from the same country, same league. We have no chemistry in this team. All our links are broken. That's what it feels like right now. Oh, it's a tough watch. But yeah, I think I'm still out. I'm not going to backtrack. When I say something, I'm saying it. I'm still out. I can't defend this at all. I can't defend this. And I know my phone's gonna bell off after full time from United fans and Arsenal fans, that are friends of mine. It's part of the territory. It's part of being a football fan, right? You gotta take the good times and bad times. But this, I never envisioned this would happen to us this season. After the summer that we had, I didn't see it coming. Like Stuart, shout out to you. You said you saw it coming. Can you please DM me the lottery numbers? Uh, you know, if you're from the future, then please, like, I'd love to have them because I don't think any of us envisioned it like this. And I don't really care about what rival fans say, oh, you guys spent money, blah, 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 blah. Don't care about stuff like that. I don't, my football opinion doesn't go based on satisfying rival fans' viewpoint because their agenda will always be there for Liverpool. They don't want Liverpool to succeed. And when every single content creator is doing content about Liverpool and they're not doing about their team, that's when you know we're the talk of the town. Good or bad, we're always the talk of the town. So you got to take that as a sign of seniority or team fear us. But right now we're a laughing stock. We are a laughing stock. The ref just needs to blow the whistle now. I'm done here. Honestly, this could be Arsenal's last match as manager. I'll be very, very surprised if he continues. Because this is not acceptable. It is not acceptable. We showed nothing today. Like, I've been going on a rant for the last week. I've not focused very heavily on the second half. I've not taken any notes. But it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because we've lost 3-0. And I'm still watching the game as I'm talking. It's all Forest. They are moving the ball around. with no real sort of difficulty. It's a walk in the park for them. You know, Mourinho's in pain because he just got hit in the balls, but otherwise, everyone else is full of energy. They probably can do another half an hour if they wanted to, because we haven't shown anything. How can we show no desire in this team? This is a sad watch, but oh, just gonna go through some of the comments here, and then we will close the show. Olan says this squad has no identity. Facts. We don't have any identity whatsoever. All the new players don't play like they're part of the squad. And that's what I do feel like we did too much too soon. And I don't want to use that as an excuse because I still don't think that's acceptable as an excuse. I really don't. History will tell you that it doesn't work, but the team doesn't digress to this level where you're losing back to back games. That's not how it works. Games that you're expected to win turn into draws. That is understandable. You're seeing work in progress, but this is not work in progress. Everyone is playing with like real low energy. Everyone's playing with like 10% in their tank and they're just going through the motions. That's what it feels like. We're not going there with real confidence or real energy. It's a concern. It's a huge concern. I'll be very, very surprised if Slot is still manager by the end of December. If they haven't now, FSG need to come out with a plan B and write up a list of potential candidates for a new coach. It needs to be done now. And I don't think that's an overreaction. I really don't. Mm. I was losing hope with this coach, but I thought, you know what? Let me give him the benefit of the doubt because he gave us that league title last year in his opening season. No Liverpool manager's done that for us in recent times. So I'm thinking, do you know what? He deserves that respect. He deserves time. But this is not acceptable for me. And he's not showing anything for me to be like, he's trying to find solutions or he's playing different systems to accommodate these new players to play to their strengths and their skill sets. He's not doing that. So what on earth is he doing? Team selection have been woeful the last few weeks. Why is our best player playing as a makeshift right back? Why? Just because he's capable of doing it, it doesn't mean that's the position he needs to play. Honestly, play Calvin Ramsey there. I could not care less. I don't care if this guy's been frozen out for the last 2, 3 years. He's fit. He's in the squad. He's a right back. Play him at right back. I wanted Jones at right back because I've seen him play there, and I feel like with his passing, it could definitely be progressive for us on that side of the pitch. With Konate, his passing's been non-existent. So if you've got a player alongside him who can be the passer from the back, it works from a tactical point of view. Yes, he might get ran out on the wings. But then again, he was up against Dominguez, who is a centre mid by trade. But he's playing on that left hand side because he's left footed and it gives you that energy. So it's a bit more of a compact midfield for them. That's the difference. They didn't go with Hudson-Odoi. I thought they would have because I thought they would have tried to exploit our weak position at right back. But they were like, no, we're going to stick to our last lineup and we're going to go again. Why was Sabozza at right back? Why? I can't give you an explanation, guys. But why did he do that? It's an absolute piss take to do that. He's been our best player this season, and you just moving him around like he's going. it's his own downfall, and I'm not having a shot at him because he's so good and so adaptable in different roles that the manager's like, you know what? Let me just put him out right back. It just eases my mind. We've got other players that can fill in the role at midfield. But I'm sorry, those midfielders aren't doing anything. McAllister's not doing anything. Jones is in and out of the game. Gravenberch has had a decent season, but not as great as last year. He's still shown parts of his game where he loses the ball quite easily. So for me, this is not the way to go. When one of your players is performing at a high level or in form, you've got to play them in their positions. It's as simple as that. And you've signed two strikers that are playing at a high level. Why have you not played them together? Yes, you did in the second half, but you were desperate. We were 1-0, 2-0 down at the time. And that's what you've done all season. We've always been trailing at half time, and you've switched up to a 4-2-4 or 4-4-2, however you want to phrase it. We've always done that. For me, that shows me that you've not set the team up properly from the first minute. Last season, we were the ones that were scoring very early in the games. Now we are conceding literally in the opening 10 minutes of virtually every game. It's unacceptable. And I can't defend him. And I don't know how I can defend him. You guys have followed me for a while. I'm very calm and collective when I give out my opinions. But I'm seeing BS right now. What can I do? What can I say that will be positives? Of course, we'll speak about it in more detail in the match reaction show. But I got to weigh the pros and cons because the cons are long. The list is long. The pros might be that he's Dutch and we've got a lot of Dutch players. That's the only pros that I can look at right now. I can't see anything else because the players that we signed, it wasn't based on his aura. It wasn't like Jurgen Klopp, was the selling point. Like these players joined because it's Liverpool Football Club and they wanted to join the champions. That's why they joined. Armstrong wasn't a deciding factor. So if we were to lose him, we'll get another coach, and I think we'll be fine in terms of recruitment and all that sort of stuff. But we need to find someone that can come in and do a job quickly. So some food for thought there, because when we do the match session show, feel free to drop some names. Who do you think we can come in and take over Arsenal's reign? Because right now, I think he's treading on thin ice. I don't see him being here for a long time. I'll be very, very surprised if he's still here by the end of December. And the crazy thing is, our run of fixtures coming up in the next few weeks, they're not difficult on paper. This was supposed to be a win. We should not be losing 3-0 to Forest at home. That's not acceptable for me at all. Because now you're looking at the fixture thinking, oh, where are we going to get the win? I don't know. I don't know when we're going to win. If we win against PSV, I actually don't even care what happens in that match. Because the Champions League is not the high priority now. Your league, your domestic football is the one you've got to really, really focus on. And where are we in the league? Are we 12th? Where are we in the league now? We're 11th in the league. 18 points. We're behind Man United. Of course, they still got to play their game. It's unacceptable. Just gonna go through some comments before we close the show. Ozzie says the old core players look unmotivated. Yeah, they do look unmotivated, but that can also be because of the change of tactics and they're not fully on board. This is man management. This is why you're paid the big bucks to manage high profile players. You're here to manage big egos. You're here to manage a collective of top quality players. And you've got to make them believe, you've got to make them work as a unit, as a collective, and to fight for each other. You are the motivator. You're not just there to be a tactician. You've got to do all hats. You've got to be a tactician. You've got to be the motivator. You've got to have great management skills. You've got to be a father figure to some of these players as well. There's a lot riding on this position at Liverpool. And honestly, I said you got to be a tactician. I think he's shown, a l- some. I'll be honest with you, his credibility has gone down the hill for me. From when he said out loud, we can't play against a team that presents the low block or play with long balls. That's 80% of the league. That's how most teams would play against us. There would be only certain teams like your Aston Villas that will play a different way because they have a different philosophy based on the coach. But generally, that's how a lot of the teams will play. That's why a lot of teams play with back threes because it's more defensive focused now. But we haven't been in tune with that. I'm not saying we should play with back three because I'm not the biggest fan of playing a back three. But you got to test it as well. You got to test out different formations because on paper a back three would work. We've got two wing backs. Unfortunately, Frimpong and Bradley aren't fit right now. But we do have the personnel in paper that could work to that formation. Honestly, they've lost motivation. As a fans, we've lost faith. I know I have. And if you still have faith, respect to you. Because I feel like I'm a positive fan, but I'm just, yeah, I'm done. I'm done now. I really am. Graham, big up Graham. It is just unreal. It is. I, I did not think Liverpool would be in this position. I really didn't see this coming. This definitely has put us, you know, back to the ground. We were all on cloud nine because we won the league last year. We are on the ground now because this is something I just did not see coming. I really did not see us digressing as a team like this. This is just for me, it's unimaginable. Not because we're Liverpool Football Club. It's just that we have a Premier League winning team. We signed some really good players. Despite what anyone says, I'm still standing on that. We signed good players this summer. Because I'm not gonna do content be all giddy about signings and then say, oh, they were terrible. I thought they were all good signings. I really did. People say Kirk isn't all that. He's a downgrade. He was in the team of the season last year in the Premier League because he was sensational for Bournemouth. Whether he's the right pick for us or not is an argument. It's a discussion because we were linked with Frimpong first. That was the first signing we made. So I would assume that we were going to go with a defensive-minded left back because that's the way he set his team up against Feyenoord. So I'm going based on his track record. He had what- what's his name? Handgo, who is I think Slovakian or Slovenian. Apologies, I'm not sure what nation he's from. He's at Atletico Madrid now. He was a centre back playing at left back, so he gave you that defensive cover on that right side. So during the games, that team ends up being a back three with him being on the left side as a centre back, so playing his natural role. So that made more sense. Frimpong being a bit more of a attacking outlet. But if you're having two fullbacks that are attack minded like that, the only way you get balance in that team is you have a proper number six. I think Gravenberch can play that number six, so some will disagree. I think he can play in a single pivot as a number six, but he's not been told to play like that this season. He's been a free roaming midfielder. That's why his stats are up in terms of goals and assists. But I don't want Gravenberch doing that. I need him to be the defensive midfielder in this team, like he was last season. So why have we changed that tactic? That's a winning formula you've just messed up with. And then Szoboszlai, you've played him in all sorts of positions. The guy's a midfielder, playing in midfield. Florian Wirtz, we spent big money on him. Why are you playing him in all over the place? Why are you having him in and out of the team? This is a player you're supposed to build a team around because of his skill set of him being a number 10. A number 10 position is not a very popular position in the modern game right now. is kind of obsolete. A lot of teams don't play number 10s, but we found a unicorn of a player, in my opinion. So we've got to play to his strengths. Why is he playing on the left? Why is he playing on the right in a 4-4-2? That doesn't make sense either. To receive the comments says, "Oz, this must be what it feels like to own a Ferrari and not have a driver's license to be able to legally drive it on the streets." You're right. The analogy is spot on. I feel like Slot was driving a Range Rover last season, where everything was, set up for him. He had the MOT, the service, everything was done for him. And then, he got a few compliments. Then he's like, "Oh, let me upgrade. Let me upgrade myself." Got himself a Ferrari and he can't handle the Ferrari. That's what it feels like right now. He's got a luxury car. In football terms, he's got luxury players. Players that teams would dream to have in their squad. But he doesn't know how to use them. That's what I'm seeing. That's why I feel like there's a weakness there. He's feeling the pressure, and I also feel like he doesn't have the credibility as a coach because he doesn't know how to fit them all in. It's crazy. It sounds so silly to say out loud because this is a professional coach, but he doesn't know how to use these players. Graham in the comments says we have gone from being champions and Man United almost both to United being better. Make that make sense. Make that make sense. How are United above us right now? I still look and think they're absolutely dog shit right now. I really do. But we're getting better. We're worse. But the thing is, I see the players we have in our squad. We have such great talent in our squad. They don't have a talent squad. They are mediocre. But they're still doing something. They're giving their fan base a bit of hope. What are these guys doing for us? I've lost faith. I've lost hope with this team. And more so with this coach. While like no one's played to their level at all. And you can't say, they're not trying. Like I personally, I don't feel like the application's there from anyone. That could be down to tactics. That could be down to not knowing how the new players move and work on the pitch. But that's what you have training sessions for. That's why you have training. What are you doing in training then? That's why I need to know what you're doing in training then. You're not just playing silly games and stuff. Like, what are you doing in training? Are you not doing tactical things? Because I've not seen it on the pitch. I'm not seeing improvements. They did a training ground routine in terms of the corner kick, but that's it. That's all they did today. That I can tell, oh, they practiced in training. Absolutely ridiculous. Did you say last thing was last thing? Us, the points don't carry over from months ago. I hear you, but I'm talking in more so in terms of giving him a bit of benefit of the doubt that he gave us that league title last season. So he can't just be a terrible coach, overnight. But I'm seeing cracks in his coaching. And I question a lot of his decisions this year. Man management. Just doing even the Crystal Palace game in the Carabao Cup. To play youth players and then have a bench full of youngsters that have never played a professional game. You're throwing them under the bus. We lost that game 3-0. What do you think that's going to do for their confidence? It basically shows me that you don't care about the young players. Because Klopp would have done that. I assure you he would have done that. Bo says, got to go now. I agree. Tulisi says, yeah, this is unacceptable, untenable. Nick, big up Nick. He says, United have now a better goal difference than Liverpool for the first time in years. How shambolic is that? I like Villa stuff. I'm not insulting their style of play. It's just that when we played them, it suited our game because you've got both teams playing good football, I guess, right? So they weren't going for the long ball or for the low block. They wanted to play proper football. So in terms of their style of play, I like the way they play as well. But that was the game where fans were like, "Yes, we're back." I wasn't there yet. I can't lie. I was gassed about the Real Madrid one because that's a real opposition, a real opponent there. But that was a one-off. That's how I'm seeing it. It's a one-off. And of course, they don't play long ball either. So the big test was Man City. What do we do there? And we got scored. And today, destroyed by Forest. The team that Ozwrld has nightmares about, he will have nightmares again and again now. Gareth Southgate says, Southgate in? God forbid. That is definitely not an option. I would rather hand in my CV than have this guy come as our coach because that is not acceptable. But that is it for today, guys. I feel like I've gone on a rant without even actually planning on doing that, but I had to get things off my chest. We will do a match reaction show. Whether I do it tonight or not, I don't want to promise and not deliver. The reason I'm not doing it tonight is because I want to watch the boxing. I'm also a big boxing fan. So um, if the boxing finishes early and I feel like I need to jump on, I might do a late show at like midnight or along that kind of line. So best thing to do is firstly, please like and subscribe to the channel and also hit that notification bell. So if I do plan on doing a stream, you'll get a notification to let you know that Football Tour podcast will be going live at this time and come and join in the live chat with your comments. If you want to call in and you need to have a bit of a rant, I will present a link for you in the live chat for you to come on and have your say. Normally I do it towards the end of the show, but you're more than welcome to, come on as soon as I see you in the backstage area. So yeah, not a great start to the weekend. Not gonna let Liverpool ruin it, but unfortunately, it's still gonna play in the back of my mind. But that is it for today, guys. Let me give a shout out to everyone for being involved today. Shout out to Ozan Kabak. Shout out to Abdul. Shout out to Lulu Steve. Shout out to Bowl. Shout out to Stuart. Shout out to Graham. And shout out to Nick. Shout out to Gareth Southgate. But that is it for today, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. Take care, stay safe, and I hope to speak with you all very, very soon. Goodbye.